Welcome to the very first episode of Beneath the Castle Genie's Guide. Today is a very special day, and my name's Rob.
I'm Michael.
I'm Damien.
And do both of you know why today is a special day on October 1st? Who's turning 50? Do you know who's turning the big 50 today?
Right?
Who?
Michael's big 50th, right?
He's not that old yet.
Is it the crazy cat lady down the road? She's turning 50.
No, she actually turned 51 this year. But good guesses. But today is the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World.
Woo!
Woo! Today's the big 50 of Walt Disney World. Are you celebrating that as well, Damien?
I can't.
Woo!
Woo!
So turning 50 is a very big milestone, especially for
Wasn't it Amy's dying. What happened, Damien?
Okay, now back to it. Now,
That's not the noise it's meant to make.
oh my god. Okay.
Sorry, Rob. Continue.
No, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so turning 50 is a very big milestone, especially for a theme park, because not many theme parks can last for this long and also be number one for 13 years, the most visited theme park for 13 years in a row. So Walt Disney World, kudos to them. It's one of the biggest theme parks. It is the biggest theme park in the world. Okay, now with so the history of Walt Disney World, it does span 50 years. So there is some interesting stuff that has been going down since the inception of Walt Disney World. So I've got some interesting facts about the making of Disney World. So let's get right into it. Okay, so obviously Walt Disney World opened up 50 years ago today. So on October 1st, 1971 was the opening day of it. But did you know that Walt Disney's original plan for Walt Disney World was not to be as big as to not be what it is? It was actually supposed to be so his original plans called for the inclusion of an experimental prototype community of tomorrow, also known as Epcot. So it was supposed to it was a planned community intended to serve as a testbed for new city living innovations. But unfortunately, Walt Disney died on December 15th, 1966, during the original planning of the complex. So after his death, the actual Walt Disney Company, they wrestled with the idea of whether to bring his project to fruition or not. So because of that, Walt's older brother, Roy Disney, he actually came out of retirement to make sure Walt's dream was realized. Construction actually started in 1967 with the company instead of building the Epcot Center, instead of building Epcot, doing experimental prototype community of tomorrow, they built a resort similar to Disneyland. So but fun fact, given how expensive it is right now to visit Disney World, when it first opened in 1971, admission prices for adults were $3.50 $2.50 for juniors under 18, and $1 for children under 12. If only that was the price now. I'll be in heaven.
Yeah, but they were getting paid like $50 a week or something. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. Fun fact, in 2019, so Magic Kingdom, which was the first park in the Walt Disney World complex, it hosted 20.9 million viewers, making it the most visited theme park in the world for its 13th consecutive year, and the most visited park in North America for at least 19 years. And also, so 10 rides have been at the Magic Kingdom since opening day. So they have been there for 50 years now. So, and they are the Haunted Mansion, Dumbo, It's a Small World, the Jungle Cruise, Mad Hatter's Tea Party, which is like the I forgot what they're called. The teacups. It's like the teacup ride. The Main Street vehicles, they just go up and down Main Street. Peter Pan's Flight, Prince Charming's Carousel, just behind Cinderella's Castle, the Tomorrowland Speedway, and the Walt Disney World Railroad. Michael, I believe you have some top 10 hidden gems that are found at Walt Disney World.
That's right. It's time.
Do you want to go through them? Because I want to see if I know any of these hidden gems and if I saw any.
You probably do know some of them.
Okay, shoot away.
Okay. Well, it is Michael's top 10 Disney World hidden gems and fun facts. And at number 10, we are in Town Square for this hidden gem.
Mm-hmm.
Fire Station 71. Do you know why it's called Fire Station 71?
I know, because that was the year that the Magic Kingdom opened.
Correct. It's in honor of the year Magic Kingdom was open. And you get the name Fire Station 71. Number 9, we're still in Town Square. Lady and the Tramp in Tony's Town Square. Tony's Town Square is named after the restaurant where the main characters from Lady and the Tramp enjoyed their famous meal.
Huh, I did not know that.
Know that one?
No, not at all.
Number 8, we're in Town Square again. Disney history in the windows. You probably know this, Rob. But second story windows.
Yeah, I could know this.
All right, what is it?
I don't know this.
Second story windows have names of fictional businesses with real life Imagineers, artists, and other significant people in Disney's history.
Yeah.
And number 7, we're in Town Square for the last time. A view for everyone. This one's a bit cheeky for consumers. Store windows on Main Street are lower than normal to allow little ones the ability to see through them. So they've lowered all the windows are just a little bit lower so the kids can see in and get their parents to buy whatever they want. Number 6.
Kids are not for marketing reasons.
Yes. Number 6, we're in Fantasy Land. This is the true castle height. Cinderella Castle appears much higher than it really is by using forced perspective. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty smart on the Imagineers idea, on the Imagineers' behalf.
Do you know what the actual height is?
No.
I think it's time for the Damien Look It Up session of this podcast as well.
I can look it up. He looks up stuff even when we don't say look it up.
The
All right,
castle is 189 feet tall.
Oh. Cool.
That's pretty tall.
Number 5. Halfway there. This is another castle fact.
Mm-hmm.
The real castle name. Do you know what it is, Rob?
Cinderella's Castle?
What is it?
Isn't its real name called Cinderella's Castle?
No. The world famous castle in the Magic Kingdom is actually called Cinderella Castle, not Cinderella's Castle.
Mike with the technical.
There's no S.
I'm still calling it Cinderella's Castle.
No, that's incorrect. Number 4,
Mhm.
Wake Up Tinkerbell. This is the first person who walks into Tinkerbell's treasures will be given the opportunity to awaken Tinkerbell.
How does
When I go back to Walt Disney World, I need to do that.
How do you think you wake up Tinkerbell?
throwing fairy dust in her face?
How do you wake up Tinkerbell?
Well, there's a video on YouTube actually, and basically you get to ring a bell, and you ring a bell and you say, "Wake up Tinkerbell," and there's like a window, and it's like a window but it's like black, and then Tinkerbell comes out and wakes up, and then she like does like that thing she does, and then she flies off again.
Oh, I did not know that. Thank you for letting me know that, Michael.
So yeah, next time you're there. All right, we're in the top 3 now, and we are at Liberty Square. Ship lost at sea in Columbia Harbor House. So each section of the Columbia Harbor House
Mhm.
is dedicated to a ghost ship or a ship lost at sea. So that's pretty cool.
That is pretty interesting, and I shall notice because I like stuff about pirate ships.
Yes.
Shame on you, Rob.
I know.
At number 2, we're at the Frontierland. Listen to Disneyland's opening day speech. Near the telegraph office, you will hear Morse code of Walt Disney's opening day speech at Disneyland in California. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Even better if you know what Morse code, like if you can actually understand it.
Yeah.
Generation is probably the last generation who probably knows what Morse code is.
You'd be like, what's that clicking noise? And number 1,
What's number 1?
we're at Future World.
Mm-hmm.
It's magic. Spaceship Earth, the big golf ball,
Yeah.
is designed with a runoff system that prevents water from reaching the ground when it rains. The water will not get to the ground.
These Imagineers.
Where does it go?
I know, right? Where does it go? What are the rules for this to happen?
Disney bathwater.
Hmm?
It's bottled and sold as Disney bathwater.
Oh, and I will buy it.
They got buckets around the golf ball.
Now that we've gotten through Michael's top 10 facts, now it's time to find out what Walt Disney World is doing to celebrate its 50th. And there is a lot of stuff that Walt Disney World is doing to celebrate the 50th. Now, okay, so you would think that for a 50th, it will be a month-long thing. So it will go throughout the whole month of October. Wouldn't you think so?
Yeah, I'd say a month is long enough.
Yeah, a month is long enough to celebrate a 50th birthday, but no, not at Walt Disney World.
No?
It's an 18-month-long celebration.
Not a year.
Not a year.
Not
18
yet.
months.
That's getting greedy.
It's a year and a half long celebration.
That's like people who go, this is my birthday week. And it's like, what? You can't celebrate for a whole week. You get a day.
Like,
A day.
not only that, but Walt Disney World will be celebrating its 50th when it turns 51.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, now, also with this, there will also be debuting brand new fireworks displays at Epcot, which at the Epcot Center, which is called Harmonious, and there will also be debuting a new fireworks display at the Magic Kingdom called Enchantment, which means that the Happily Ever After fireworks that are currently running will have been the shortest fireworks display of all time. I believe it started in 2016. 2014 or 2016 is when the happily ever after fireworks display set, and in my opinion, they are the best fireworks displays I have ever seen in my life because of the castle projections. They are amazing. And on top of that, with the fireworks display, for the first time ever at the Magic Kingdom, there will actually be projections going all the way down Main Street, USA as well. So it will be taking up the whole thing. And of course, Tinkerbell will actually be flying across from Cinderella Castle over to where she leaves.
That's right.
Yeah. And also there are also some rides that will be opening up throughout the 18-month-long celebration. There is actually 3 rides that will be opening up during the 18th-month-long celebration, but one is currently in its soft opening, which is Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, which is at Epcot in the France Pavilion. So what it is, you actually shrink down to the size of Remy, and you're just going throughout, and it's a dark ride, but you wear 3D glasses, and you just go throughout the kitchen at Gusteau's, and it looks really good. So I can't wait to go back there to ride that ride. And they have opened up a brand new restaurant at Epcot, and it looks amazing. Like, it's called Space 220 Restaurant, and it's that immersive. You actually have to go into a room, and when you go up, because it's the reason why it's called Space 220 is because you're going 220 miles straight up into space, and Disney is that good. You go into a room, and then you take off, and you can actually see yourself disappearing away from Epcot and going straight up into the International Space Station. I would love to go to Space 220 if I ever get to go back to Walt Disney World. And also Cinderella Castle, it's getting a complete makeover. So they're repainting the castle in their new color, which is called iridescent. So not IRI, EAR, iridescent. So they changed the spelling of it to make it be like Mickey Mouse. And they're adding gold trims, and they're placing a 50th badge on the castle. And this whole takeover of Cinderella Castle looks amazing. They are also doing 50 golden statues of all of characters who are important to Disney, and it's 50 statues across all 4 parks, and there'll be Tron. The Tron ride will open up in Tomorrowland, and there's a ride opening up at Epcot, and I'm surprised it's opening up at Epcot and not Hollywood Studios. It's Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. It's an indoor roller coaster, and they're also debuting brand new merchandise. They'll be debuting new merchandise with their iridescent color, which is like a purple/pink fading color, and it looks amazing. And they're also releasing I forgot what the word is. They're also releasing retro merchandise as well. So merchandise that looks like it was from 1971. And there's also going to be at Animal Kingdom. It's going to be called Disney's Kite Tales. It's a daytime show, and it's just kites in the shape of Disney characters. And from what I can see, it does look pretty cool. And there will also be a Mickey Celebration Cavalcade, special 50th entrance decor. So there's going to be a topiary at the front of the Magic Kingdom of Mickey and Minnie with a birthday cake. And then there'll be the world's most magical celebration just beneath the Walt Disney Railroad. And Cinderella Castle, it will another thing about Cinderella Castle, it will actually have 2 different looks. One during the day and another for the evening as part of the Beacons of Magic transformation that is happening at all 4 of the park icons. So what happens at nighttime is the castle is transformed into a sparkling piece of magic with a dash of pixie dust from Tinkerbell, of course, the one and only Tinkerbell. Tower of Terror will also see some glimmer and shimmer going on there, and the Tree of Life at the Animal Kingdom. The Tree of Life, already how amazing it looks at nighttime. There'll be enchanted fireflies going around the Tree of Life, which will make it look even better. And but the most significant change will actually be Spaceship Earth. So all over Spaceship Earth, there's going to be little light in all of the nook and crannies, and they will be shining so brightly. They'll be shining so brightly that it just looks amazing. And I've seen photos of it. It looks awesome. And at one of their resorts, the Polynesian, there will be a 50th anniversary themed scavenger hunt. So as you can tell, there is a lot. Like, Disney is going all out for its 50th this year. Now, I believe we're on to another segment of this. So now that we're talking about what Disney's doing for their 50th, now what we are talking about now is, as me and Michael have both been to Walt Disney World, we are both going to list our top 5 favorite rides. And it's not only at the Magic Kingdom, it's at all 4 parks. So I believe, Michael, you want to start? What's number 5 for you?
Number 5 for me is the Haunted Mansion. The Haunted Mansion is a ghost train attraction. It's at Disneyland and Tokyo. And during the holidays, those ones transform into Haunted Mansion Holiday during Halloween and the Christmas season since 2001, which is inspired by Tim Burton's 1993 film The Nightmare Before Christmas.
I wish that would happen at the Magic Kingdom, but for now, unfortunately, it's only at Anaheim. I want it to come to Magic Kingdom.
I actually went. I went there when they were doing this during Christmas time, and it was awesome. Like, everything was Nightmare Before Christmas, and it was so cool. So I suggest going. Like, if we go there, go over Christmas or Halloween.
Oh my God! So you've been there? So
Yeah.
You've been on?
I just want to quickly add as well. It was announced that a Muppet special based on the attraction, Muppets Haunted Mansion, will be released on Disney Plus on October the 8th. So coming up very soon. And hopefully we'll be reviewing that one here on Beneath the Castle as well. Look forward to that one.
Okay. So
What's
that's your number 5. Okay. So my number 5 is Space Mountain.
Oh.
Space Mountain. Like, I know everyone who has been to both parks, they say Space Mountain at Disneyland is better. But my God, Space Mountain at Disney World is just amazing. Like, even though you can't see anything in the ride, it's still so fun and scary. The reason the thing that makes it so scary is you don't know what's coming. And I know, Damien, you are one of the people who wants to go on this ride because of all the stuff that I've told you about it. That is just pitch black.
The weird thing is that I've known Rob for a long time, and Rob never used to be a fan of those types of rides. So the fact that this is like on his list as top 5 is actually surprising.
Yeah.
Like, how far it's come.
Now on to number 4, Michael. What's number 4?
My number 4 is Splash Mountain. And this is Splash Mountain is a log flume at Disneyland, Tokyo Disneyland, and Magic Kingdom, based on the animated sequence of the 1946 Disney classic film Song of the South. And this the drop is 52.5 feet. It also has been announced that the US version of the ride will be replaced with a themed based on the 2009 film The Princess and the Frog.
Yeah.
So they're finally going to get rid of those characters from Song of the South. Sadly, but I
mean,
feel like
is it Judah Zippity D?
yes. So all those songs are playing throughout the ride, and it's a really fun ride.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be sad that it's going.
Yeah.
And that ride's good as well because they when you go down the dip, they take a photo. It's great.
The last time on a ride photo, we're going to use that moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's yours number 4, Rob?
My number 4, it's a ride that people say is overrated at Magic Kingdom. It's the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So what it is, it's not for like, it's basically like a testing roller coaster for kids. So there's no highs, there's no epic turns, anything like that. But the thing is, the reason why I like it so much is because you're in a mine train, and the roller coaster it's actually moving with the movement of the roller coaster. That's why I like it, and also the animatronics on that ride is just amazing. I was one of the lucky ones who managed to get a fast pass for it when it was called Fast Pass Plus, but now it's called Disney Genie. Yeah, so I got Fast Pass Plus. I was one of the lucky because they are one of the first ones to sell out straight away, and I don't regret it. It was such a fun ride for me. It was amazing. Now on to number 3. What's your third favorite, Michael?
Number 3, Expedition Everest.
Oh my God.
This is Legend of the Forbidden Mountain is a still roller coaster at Disney's Animal Kingdom. The ride is themed around the Yeti protecting the Forbidden Mountain next to Mount Everest. And yeah, this was a surprise ride for me because Animal Kingdom doesn't have as many rides as the other parks.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went on to this one, not really expecting much, but it was like so much fun.
Yeah.
And there's this point where you come to like a part where the track has been ripped apart.
Yeah.
The Yeti, and then you go backwards, and that is scary and awesome. And it was just a fun ride that I wasn't expecting to be as much fun as it was. So that's my number 3.
Fun fact about that ride, Damien. I'm pretty sure I told you, but just in case you forgot, that ride there is the ride that helped me get over my fear of roller coasters. And that is why it's my number 3 as well. Expedition Everest is my number 3 as well.
Really?
I love that ride.
Rob showed me some POV of that ride, and it looks awesome.
Now on to number 2. Michael, what's your number 2 ride?
My number 2 is The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh is a dark ride based upon the 1977 film of the same name. You just kind of, going through the 100 Acre Woods, and you're just going through and seeing all the characters. And I really love the animatronics of all the characters. And this one's good. And I was tossing up between this one or Peter Pan, because that one's awesome as well, because you're in the boat and you're actually sailing through the sky.
Yes.
All of them are good, but I went with Winnie the Pooh because that was just kind of like this really cool experience. It just feels like you're in a cartoon.
Yes.
Yeah, so I picked that one.
Okay. So my number 2, is I believe it's called the Little Mermaids underwater Like it's it's Ariel's underwater ride in New Fantasyland. It just looks amazing. Again, the Imagineers went all out with the animatronics. Like you can't tell that they're robots.
Yeah.
The movement is so fluid. It's, oh my god, it looks like that they're real people, even though of course Ariel's not real and Ursula's not real. But and because I went with my niece, my sister, and my niece's dad. So just just hearing my niece's laugh and just how much she loved that ride as well made me love it even more. And Ariel is my second favorite Disney princess, so of course it had to be my second favorite ride at Walt Disney World, and there are hundreds of rides at Walt Disney World. Okay, now on to the big number one, Michael. What's your favorite ride
Number one.
at Walt Disney World?
My number one ride at Disney World is Mad Tea Party, or as I call it, the teacup ride.
The Mad Hatter's Tea Party.
Yes. It is a spinning teacup ride at 5 of the 6 Disneyland-style theme parks around the world. The ride theme is inspired by the unbirthday party scene in Walt Disney's Alice in Wonderland, and plays a version of the film's Unbirthday song. And it was one of the, you already mentioned this, but it was one of the opening day attractions. But I mean, the reason that this is number one is because as a child, I saw this ride on TV and on movies, and I was just like, I have to go on that one day. It's just like so much fun. And so it was kind of this was on my bucket list, like this ride, and I did it, and it was fun. And there's a little wheel in the middle where you can spin it, and it spins even faster.
Oh,
so I'm just like spinning, and so that was just it's just a childhood dream that I got to actually do, and it was great. So that was my number one.
Okay. And now, are you ready for my number one? You'll be surprised by what my number one is, Michael.
Your number one?
Yeah. So let's just venture on over to Disney's Animal Kingdom. And there is an area in Animal Kingdom which is called Pandora, the world of Avatar. That is where my favorite ride is located. It's called Flight of Passage. It is like words cannot explain how amazing it is. So what it is, I don't know if you went on this ride, Michael. Did you go on Soarin'?
I don't know.
Okay, so what this Flight of Passage is, you're sitting on what it's called an ikran, which is what they're called in which is the word for Navi, or which is the Navi word for Banshee. So you're basically sitting on a Banshee, and they're taking you on a ride throughout Pandora, and it's so immersive, and the smells on that ride, it is just amazing. Like, there's a reason why it gets 2.5 to a 3 hour wait. It is like, I just can't explain how amazing it is.
So it's a full body, 4D cinema kind of thing. So
yeah, you're wearing the 3D glasses, and you feel like you're flying on an ikran, as well as you're feeling like when they're going around the water and water splashing at them, you get splashed with water. It is so immersive, and yeah, that is my number one.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't expecting that either. But when I thought about what are my top 5 rides, what is the one that I want to go back on the most, and it just kept on going back to Flight of Passage, Flight of Passage, Flight of Passage. Well, I think that brings us to the end of the show for Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary. So thank you so much for tuning in, and don't forget that you can actually find this podcast on soundcloud.com.au. soundcloud.com/beneath the castle. You can find us on Spotify, find us on Facebook and YouTube as well. And does anyone else have anything left to say?
Yes. And remember, growing old is mandatory, but growing up is optional.
Yes. And here's to another 50 years for Walt Disney World.